Hello, everybody. Thanks for joining. I am so glad that you did. I have, before I get started, I'm going to be making a masterboard, and I'm going to show you how I do it and give you some tips if you would like to stay. But I also wanted to tell you that I did tea stain my envelopes, but I also tea stained a third one because I'm going to have two signatures so it doesn't get real chunky. So, yeah, I didn't have to, print any more papers or anything, because I had an even amount of papers to put in both signatures. So I think I have 10 in each, so 20 pages total. Mostly tea stained and plain and music. Okay, and so very neutral. And that's it. So I'll have, what I did was, let me show you. It's very simple. So I put my two envelopes where I wanted them, and then I slid this one in, and then I glued this one on the back. So you slide this one into this one, then this one into this one. So you have a pocket here, a pocket there. This is solid, and a pocket here. So you slide this into this, and then this into this, but you go right up to here on the second one, so that, your middle one, and then you have a nice, like, rounded, a good size spine, okay? So then my first signature will go in here, and then my next signature will fit in here. And I just have music paper, tea stain paper, and I think a total of 8 digitals, like 4 in each. So I have vellum. I always start with vellum, and same thing with here. I don't know why, I just do. You know how old books have like tissue paper at the beginning? So that's why I always start with vellum or tissue paper, or tracing paper, whatever you have. Don't buy anything. So, anyway, and the other thing was, yesterday I had said in my video, or like 3 videos ago, I don't know, I'm filming ahead, so I have enough. When I feel well, I'm videoing. If I don't feel well, then I'll have video to put up. So I had said that the little photographs that I'll be using, which, well, these aren't them. This is just one of our kits if you're interested, because they are on sale. But the little photographs I showed in that video where I did an update on my junk journal, my winter junk journal, I said that these came from Little Papery, when in fact they come from Lady Papery. Okay, this is a different kit of hers. It's on sale if you're interested, but it's her winter kit. So I bought it, even though I shouldn't have. But I just love it, and it was only $3. So, and I'll use it. I mean, you can use it for Christmas or whatever. I only printed these 2 pages. Oh, and the other thing too was, which was pretty cool, is these are cabinet cards. These ones. The other ones I printed were just photos. So I printed these on cardstock. I don't have any more photo mat paper. I had to order some, but still it looks fine on cardstock. And so they're going to be mini cabinet cards. And the other ones were just photos that I showed you, but I already had that kit. So, and then in her winter kit, it comes with a lot of ephemera. So I thought, why not? I mean, it was $3, even though my budget, I try to stay in a budget of $25 a month. So I have to watch myself, because glues, tape, tools. So I have to really watch myself. But anyway, I did ask my accountant aka my husband, and he was just like, you haven't bought anything for this journal, so just go ahead and do it. So I did. So for my masterboard, I usually make a masterboard with packaging paper. But for this one, I'm using tea stained 12 by 12 paper. You can use any size you want, but I want a bigger one. And I may end up making two. And it's all neutrals. So I pulled out my neutral bag, wherever that is. This is where I keep all my neutral book pages and things like that. And also, I've already cut up some, so I pulled those out. They were already in a paper clip. So I pulled that out, pulled a few more, because I know we'll probably need them because it's 12 by 12. This is one of my own documents scanned, so I just have to get that white off. This was a test to see how it came out, and it came out pretty good. It came out excellent. This is 1859. So, I mean, it came out really good for me on regular HP paper, 27 pound. So I'm thinking once I figure out how to download on my Ko-fi shop, then you'll be able to have them too. And I was able to print the front and the back and have them match up, which is so totally not me. Typically it'll be all cockeyed, but it wasn't. So you just get that off. And I mean, in a collage board, even though it's on, this paper, I'd probably print this typically on linen paper because I like that. But what I do is I do 1-inch strips and I do rectangles. And then any leftover, like side pieces of papers, I keep for paint swatching, which is, if you haven't ever done paint swatching, which I'm sure you have, something similar to, I just pulled out a piece to show you. This is just on different paper. I was doing a journal with those colors in it. So that's what paint swatching is, but I do it, I love doing it on like the old paper ends. So that's what paint swatching is. So I save those, anything that's blank, I'll save those in here, and then I'll put them in a separate container. And sometimes I'll even add the plain ones to my collage board, because I like it to be really neutral so I can put anything on it. And the reason why I'm using coffee stained like rectangles or squares, the reason why, I forget what I was going to say. Oh, well. Oh, the reason why I'm doing cardstock is because I don't want to back it. So it's tea stained, and I'm not going to be sewing it, so I'm not going to be sewing on these. These will just be tags. So that's why I'm not using packaging paper and I'm using cardstock instead. But you can use packaging paper by all means. Take this white off. I'm going to throw that away. That's not very big. And these I'll just do into rectangles. And then I just kind of put them in a basket and keep them separate because it goes much faster. I'll keep the strips with the strips and the rectangles with the rectangles. The one thing I can't do is upside down. I can do sideways, but I can't do upside down. I don't know why. I can't. I know some people don't mind. These are just old book pages that I took out of some books, when I was deconstructing them. That's a good piece. So that's what those are. I have this French book that was a magazine. See, magazine. And some of the pictures are kind of like, and I have no idea what it says, but I mean, it's, you know, it's great paper, and it's a whole book. So, and it's this big. So, I've been tearing it apart. I mean, John has read some of it, and I've, you know, been able to translate part of it, and it's I don't know, it's almost like, there's like sci-fi, and then there's comics, and I don't know. It's from the 1800s, but no idea. What year is it? It probably doesn't say on these pages, but sometimes it does. I don't know. Some of the pictures are cool, and I keep them, like this one. This was Woman's Home Companion, so I kept those, of course, but then cut off the rest. Like, those are good pictures. So if they're good pictures, I keep them. But if they're weird pictures, like some of them are really gruesome, I cut them out and just don't do anything with them. That just, oh, it's actually kind of like icebergs. I might keep that. I don't know, it might look weird in my journal. So let me make some more rectangles. Keep those out of the way. And some more strips. And I try to do, you know, mix my colors as far as dark and light colors, music paper, book page. I do have some rag paper, but you can't do rag paper on this cutting machine. You have to use, I think that's enough. You have to use scissors because the rag paper gets in here and it tears it. It just tears it right up. So, but I do like the texture on the, if you have rag paper, it's a nice texture on your collage boards. So I'll just cut this like this. And it really absorbs watercolor, so I typically don't, you know, I mean, I will watercolor on it, but it can drive you crazy because it absorbs all the water. Okay, that's good. And I think it's enough color. I'll do one more. Take that off. So I hope you're all doing well, having a good day. Alexa just told me that we have a cold something weather alert for Punta Gorda, and that really makes me nervous. I mean, you know, there's so many homeless people. It just breaks my heart. I mean, the shelters are open, but you know, there's only so many shelters. I mean, we don't have a lot of homeless people in our village, but you know, I don't live that far from Fort Myers Beach, Sanibel, you know, the islands where people don't have, you know, you have to worry about your heat and things like that. A lot of people will, you know, they're down for the winter, which is good because they can watch and pay attention. But okay, so I'm going to start off with glue stick. If it drives me crazy, I'm going to go to tacky glue, and I do have a paintbrush for it if the glue stick drives me crazy. What side do I want to do it on? I think I'll do it on this side. So I just go, I'll go up here first and put one of my squares, or just make sure you put down a lot of glue. This is where, like one of those, maybe Oh, I didn't put down any glue paper, but that's okay. I can always go around my edges. Let me just get some. It's right beside me. I do this part first. I don't know why I do it this way. Rachel from Roxy Creations, this is how she taught me how to do it, so this is how I've always done it. And I'm not going to decorate it or anything because these are going to be like tags, pockets, journaling cards, you know, whatever. So I'll start off with maybe some of this, if it sticks. Oh, there's 2 pieces there. And then I should have put these in 2 baskets because now I'm trying to find these, which is what I wanted for there. Well, I'm just going to have to do this. In a minute. Ugh, it's too long. I wanted a bigger piece. Or I probably shouldn't have glued so much. So now I'm going to cut this off. I don't need it. I'll just fill that in. And then I'll get another piece. And like I said, I don't mind it going sideways. I just can't have it going up and down. Make sure this is glued underneath. And I like to mix up the colors with darks and lights, but I don't add any color because every time I add color, I disappoint myself when I go to decorate it with other things. And you can always cut off your edges. So now I'm going to go down here. And do like a little square area. Then I fill it in with like strips. I printed some text on some music paper. Not text, but flowers. I didn't like it. Well, I didn't like this color. The blue is okay. But I also have some handmade paper that I printed on when I made some handmade paper a while ago. So I'm going to try some of that. I've never used it in a collage board before, but I thought, why not? So I'll just go over this and over this and go sideways with it. I'm going to do a video. It's so easy the way I do handmade paper. It's really easy. And what I do is I save all of my white scraps and then I put them through my husband's shredder, which is really nice because it makes it nice and thin, so it doesn't take as long when you soak it. But I'll wait until the weather gets better to do that because I do that outside. It makes a mess. Well, it doesn't really make a mess at all. It really doesn't. I just like to hang it up outside. So I need something dark. I'll pull out some of these. Like possibly these. This is shorthand paper, and believe it or not, it's mine from high school. I have I have 2 of my shorthand books. Never thought to use them in my journaling until I started watching Leslie at 507 Willow House. I was like, oh my goodness, it's brilliant. And I add color to my some of my handmade paper too, and then run it through my embossing machine. And sometimes I add flowers, my lavender. I'll crush up some rose petals. Sometimes I'll add some gold flakes, which can be nice, and that's upside down. So we'll do it this way. Or was that upside down? No, it wasn't. It was not upside down. My daughter would be very like, Mom, Lindsay is, excuse me. I'm going to have some water, please. My daughter is an incredible musician. She plays by ear mostly, but she can read music like nobody else's business. I should go over here now. And that way it kind of comes out nice and even. The glue stick's working okay. I get so many scam calls a day. I don't know about you all, but oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. My doorbell rang after my husband left for his doctor's appointment to see if he could go back to work, which I really hope he does. And I didn't get to it in time, and I opened the door, and there was I'll show it to you. There was a box, like a bin, like, you know, like a bin, a huge bin at my front door. Like, nobody was at my front door by the time I got to it. And I'm like, what in the world? And I went to pick it up. Well, it said dishes on top, but I thought, you know, I didn't get any dishes, nor is anybody supposed to be sending me any dishes. That's upside down. So I went to pick it up. I couldn't lift it. And I'm like, what in the world? And I opened up the box. I opened up the bin, the plastic bin, and I started opening up the paper that the dishes were wrapped in. And I was like, oh my goodness. And I knew exactly who they came from as soon as I opened them. And my husband's best friend, Steve, he's emptying out his storage bin. And I have a very French country style to my house. And, but my dishes, you know, I have beautiful china, but we don't use it. So we just use IKEA dishes because they were white. And my kitchen is, my cabinets are white. My island is like a gray and navy and white granite. My kitchen table, I got a really good deal on that. Down here you can get really, really fantastic deals. So I'm getting rid of my IKEA dishes because I'll show you what in a minute. I just couldn't believe it. I was like, what? So I called him and I said, did you want me to sell these on Facebook Marketplace? Because every once in a while he'll ask me to sell stuff on Facebook Marketplace for him. He said, no, of course not. They're very expensive. I said, then why are they here? And he said, well, I don't know. I just thought you might want them. And if you don't, then, I don't know, sell them or do whatever you want with them. I said, Steve, are you trying to tell me something? Are you okay? And he said, yeah, I'm fine. And I said, well, why are you getting rid of these? He said they were in storage taking up space. He used to live in Chicago. And and he brought everything here of his. And he's a widower. And I don't have a lot of dark paper here, but it's okay. It's all right. I can make another one. You know, usually you put a little bit more darker paper on. I'm going to go over this. If you layer, just make sure you get it good. And I don't know, when he did his kitchen, he bought new dishes, which I never knew. Didn't know they were new. I had never been to his place in Chicago. John had several times to watch the Cub games with my son. But, I mean, they're both from Massachusetts. They've been friends for 72 years. They were born a month apart. And they lived next door to each other, and their moms were mom friends. So, anyway, I have new dishes. And they're beautiful. I love them. I mean, it wouldn't be something I would pick out if I were shopping for dishes. But, oh my goodness, I love them. I really do. John doesn't like them. I do. Because I sent him a photo. He's like, that's not your style. I'm like, but they're pretty. I like them. And they have salad plates, and I mean, they're beautiful. It's fine china. It's beautiful. It's free. I like free. Now I will start filling in a little bit here. And I won't go over that. I'll just cut it, or you can tear it. And I just don't want like papers together. You know what? Is there any wider than that? I'll use this. And then this is it. This is all you do. And then you just let it dry. And honestly, I know this sounds ridiculous, but when this is dry, I will take parchment paper, put it on top, and I'll iron it. And then it will never, there'll be no bubbles, there'll be no wrinkles, there'll be nothing. But you don't have to iron it, of course. But it really does a good job of sealing all this glue stick. If any of you are looking for Mateo's winter, not winter, but the journal I made, he does have a video. I'll leave it in the description box below. He is selling his digitals, but not on Etsy. He left Etsy. So a lot of my viewers actually went to his channel and were able to get his digitals, which I am so thrilled. It wasn't, you know, a collaboration or anything. He just gifted them to me. And he said he never expected to, because I think he was pretty new on Facebook or Etsy. I'm not sure. I never did ask him. But I'm thankful for all of you. And thank you for joining his channel. He is doing an amazing, oh my gosh, he is such an incredible artist. He's doing an amazing altered book series that I have never seen an altered book done like that before. Never. So I'm going to try it. So, I mean, I have all the paints and gessos, and that's too light. I mean, too white. I'm trying to find dark, but I didn't pull any out. I have too much music page, that's for sure. But, oh well. I have some white in there, that'll help. Just glue this down and I will be done. I think that's all. Oh, I have one more thing to tell you. Or not to tell you, just to show you if you're interested in making some. Oh, that fit good. Just have to fill that in, but I'll do that in a minute. And I'll do it with this. No, I won't. I'll do it with this. And now you have yourself a neutral masterboard to make lots of tags and things and to decorate with, you know, to decorate on top of. And I just like that look. Just trying to get it off the glue. Okay. That looks good. Just fill in one more piece here. I think I'll go over that white a little bit. It's really stark with something. Oh, here's all my darker pages. I might go over some of these with the darker pages. Put it here. That helps a lot. I'll just glue that down. I might go over some of these, you know, because these are really fragile and old papers. So, I mean, if I overlap, it's fine. Because I didn't know where the darker pages were. That's too thin. But here's one. The white just really looks very stark to me. I'll leave some of it in. But I thought I'd try it. And then I won't decorate it, or I'm not even going to cut it up until I start my journal. Because I don't know what I'm going to put on it yet, so. And I might put a few more like darker pieces, like maybe one down here. Cut that off a little bit with some darker color. Just make sure, you know, if you're using book page especially, that you don't have any like words in it that, I mean, it gets pretty covered up anyway, but still, I'll go all the way across. There. And then there's a little piece up here I'm going to cover with something because I didn't get right to the edge. I wonder if I have any more of that. I do. No, yes I don't. What is it? Yes I do. I'll cut that edge off. Then you just flip it over and cut your pieces off and you're done. So that didn't take long. I think that's a cut off edge. Oh well. And then if you find that any of your edges aren't completely glued down after it's dry, just go underneath it with some, you know, glue. You know, go underneath those edges with some glue. But that looks like it's going to stay pretty well. Not that piece. I'll glue over it. Lift it up, glue over it. The glue will dry and we'll be all set. So that's it. Let me show you real quick I am making some paper, some these are just coffee filters. And all I do is I cut out the middle, and then I just fold it where the coffee filter was. I cut out this middle, and then I cut here, and then I make the ruffle. See? So if you want to make some coffee stained coffee filters, which are already coffee stained, my husband rinses them really well, but sometimes I'm like, can you not rinse them so well? Anyway, and then he leaves them upside down on a cup so that they stay wrinkled for me. Anyway, he's such a good guy. He drives me crazy, but he's a good guy. So then just go around. And don't throw these strips away because, my gosh, you can use them in, well, these are little, so I'll probably just get rid of those, but not that. And then I'll put all of these back in my strips, and I will not have to cut anything up next time. I'll probably make 2 of these just to have them, because you never know. I mean, I might need them, and I don't. I mean, it's good to have. I have several collage boards made. Most of them are not on cardstock, because like I said, I like to slow stitch on them or put buttons or whatever. But this one I won't be. And scan them, because you can use them in your journals and nobody knows the difference. You can even use them as pages. See, just take, if that happens, just take some glue somewhere. My top, when I pulled this pin out, because I hadn't crafted in so long, the metal piece came out. So I've been putting it in my art glitter glue bottle. That'll dry clear, so don't worry about that. It looks like it's good. So that's about it. The coffee filters, collage. Oh, that's slow stitch, that's me. Lady Papery on Etsy is where you get those if you wanted to purchase any of the snow. The snow items. That is my paper towel. Yeah, Lady Papery is this, and then Lorna Taylor is the snow. The ones I'm going to be using the most is Lorna Taylor's. Snow Angels and I think Snow Days. There we go. Done. That was not too bad. 38 minutes. Well, I talked too much. So I'll just put these all in my scrap bag of my for my collages. And then, well, I actually won't. I think I'll tea stain another one of these. And then when I cut it up, the back won't have to be covered. And this will be all done. So I think I'll make another one when I get off camera. And that is it for today's video. I know I probably said that 13 times today because I scheduled them to go up at different times. So I'm just trying to make sure they go up in order. And if they don't, that's okay. So until next video, be well, be safe, be kind, and God bless. Love you all. Bye-bye.